Evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Thank you for joining our daily halacha. We're going to continue talking about the halachas of the 3 weeks, and specifically haircuts and shaving. But I do want to clarify one thing that I said yesterday about a professional musician. So I mentioned yesterday that the Ashkenazi minhag is that a professional musician can play for a non-Jew. The halacha is during the whole 3 weeks until Rosh Chodesh Av, until the beginning of what we refer to as the 9 days. Also, he cannot play on the fast of Shavasar B'Tammuz, but after Shavasar B'Tammuz until the beginning of Rosh Chodesh, until Rosh Chodesh Av, not including Rosh Chodesh Av, he'd be allowed to play for a non-Jew. He would not be allowed to play for a Jew during the entire 3 weeks. Even if it's a non-observant Jew, he would not be, and he's hired by a non-observant Jew, he would not be allowed to play music for him. The Sephardi minhag is slightly different. The Sephardi minhag is, as we find by other things, the Sephardi custom to be a little bit more lenient. That according to the Sephardi minhag, one can play music until the week of Tisha B'Av. Now, I'll just segue into another point I want to clarify. There's 3 levels of mourning when it comes to halacha about the 3 weeks. The first level is at the beginning of the 3 weeks, that's Shavasar B'Tammuz, starting Shavasar B'Tammuz. The second level is when it reaches the 9 days, Rosh Chodesh Av. Things become more strict in terms of mourning, and certain things we restrict ourselves from. And as the Gemara says, the opposite of Mishenichnas Adar Marbin B'Simcha, when it comes to the month of Adar, we increase joy. When it comes to the month of Av, we decrease joy. And their halacha reflects different things that we do. And the third level, and the most severe level of mourning, before actually the day of Tisha B'Av, is the week of Tisha B'Av. After the Shabbos, starting the Motzei Shabbos if Tisha B'Av fall out on Tuesday, so the week of Tisha B'Av, Motzei Shabbos of the previous, right before Tisha B'Av, let's say Tisha B'Av is a Thursday, so that entire week would be called Shvua Shechalbo, the week that Tisha B'Av falls out. So the Sephardi minhag is that not from Rosh Chodesh Av that a professional musician cannot play, but even, but he can play until the week of Tisha B'Av, the week when Tisha B'Av falls out, he can play until that week. This would also go for someone who is paid, his living is, or he earns money through giving music lessons as well. Another area of difference between the Sephardi and Ashkenazi minhag is when it comes to haircuts. The Ashkenazim follow the Ramah, who says that during the entire 3 weeks, from Shavasar B'Tammuz until after Tisha B'Av, one may not take haircuts the entire time. And the Sephardi minhag is that one may take haircuts, during the 3 weeks until the week of Tisha B'Av. So even if, let's say, Rosh Chodesh Av would fall out on a Thursday, let's say Rosh Chodesh Av would fall out on a Wednesday, let's say, or this year on a Tuesday, let's say. Let's go with this year. This year, it falls on a Wednesday. So Wednesday day would be the Rosh Chodesh Av this year, 2020. So from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, according to the Sephardi minhag, a person would be allowed to get a haircut if you hold to the Sephardi minhag. Starting from Sunday until Tisha B'Av, according to the Sephardi minhag, one would not be allowed to take a haircut. There is generally an issue when in the same community or the same yeshiva or something like that, there's a concept that we do not follow 2 different minhagim within the same insular community. Where Ravaji writes that this does not apply to haircuts. So in other words, if a Sephardi boy is learning in an Ashkenazi yeshiva, he would be permitted to take a haircut, even though the Ashkenazim in the yeshiva are not taking haircuts, because once Shavasar B'Tammuz hits, and for the next week and a half or so, whatever it would be, whatever it is till, or almost 2 weeks till Rosh Chodesh, they would not be taking haircuts. But since a Sephardi bacher in the yeshiva would be allowed to take a haircut, even though there is a difference, it does not fall into the category of Losas or Agudos, not doing separate minhagim in the same, insular area. And he writes explicitly that it would not apply. and a Sephardi boy would be allowed to take a haircut in an Ashkenazi yeshiva. In terms of cutting a child's hair, the Ashkenazi poskim write that starting from the 3 weeks, an adult cannot even give a child a haircut starting from the 3 weeks. There are some poskim who permit it until the week of Tisha B'Av. The same halacha applies by according to the Sephardi minhag, just like a person can take one who follows the Sephardi minhag can take a haircut until the week that Tisha B'Av falls out in. One may give a child a haircut until that same time period, and it would only be forbidden to give the child a haircut once Shabbos Chazon passes. That's the Shabbos right before the Tisha B'Av falls out. Once that's the Chazon is the Haftorah, it's referred to, that Shabbos is referred to as Shabbos Chazon. So once that Shabbos passes, let's say this year would be Wednesday would be Rosh Chodesh Av. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, up until Friday, it would be permitted to give a child a haircut, just like it would be permitted for, if you follow the Sephardi minhag, for an adult to take a haircut. According to the Sephardi minhag, shaving would be permitted as well until the week of Tisha B'Av. Until the week of Tisha B'Av. So this year, again, one would be able to shave starting from even after Rosh Chodesh Av, which is Wednesday, up until Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, can shave if he holds the Sephardi minhag, and then one may shave. After Shabbos, one may not shave until after Tisha B'Av. If one would incur a financial loss if he does not shave, clients will be very scruffy, and clients will not frequent his store or do business with him, or potentially they might walk away from a business deal or something. So in that situation, a person should try to, according to the Ashkenazi minhag, should try to hold out. He may shave during the 3 weeks if he potentially might lose money. But he should, starting from Rosh Chodesh Av, he should try to stop shaving, or at least during the week of Tisha B'Av, he should try to stop shaving. It's only a few days, and it most likely will not affect him too much. If it does affect, he should ask a shaila what he should do if he happens to have some sort of an issue during that week, during the few days after Shabbos Chazon. The week of Tisha B'Av begins until Tisha B'Av, and some business deal that he's scared he might lose money, then he should ask a shaila. According to the Sephardi minhag, the same thing applies. A person can shave. Even for business, not so relevant, because even for not for business purposes, but one who follows the Sephardi minhag can shave up until the week of Tisha B'Av, until after Shabbat, until before Shabbos Chazon, and therefore the same thing would apply, because only a few days till Tisha B'Av afterwards. And if a person would be at risk of losing a lot of money or something like that, he should ask a shaila if he would be permitted to shave even after the week of Tisha B'Av. But generally, he should not. He should try his best not to. If there's an issue, he should ask a shaila about shaving even during the week of Tisha B'Av. It could be, again, please don't take this as halacha, but there could be a heter if he's going to lose a large amount of money. If somebody might not buy, if you have a grocery store, you might not buy a thing of grapes because you didn't shave. You probably don't want the guy as a client anyways, because it's a little strange. But if you might lose a lot of money on a business deal or something like that, then you should ask a shaila during the week of Tisha B'Av whether he would be allowed to shave. I just want to point out one more halacha according to the Ashkenazi minhag, that really the Ashkenazi minhag is not to shave during the entire 3 weeks. However, there are poskim, the Chassam Sofer, and there's a couple of others that say that on Erev Shabbos, if one generally shaves every day or at least twice a week, one would be allowed to shave in honor of Shabbos, because by shaving the rest of the time where he doesn't shave, it'll be clear that it's because he is mourning the Beis Hamikdash. So there is a heter in honor of Shabbos if and only if he shaves at least twice a week, then it would be permitted, according to Chassam Sofer, to shave on Erev Shabbos. However, there are other poskim who disagree, but there is room for leniency in that area. Okay, we'll hold it here. Thank you for joining, and have a wonderful evening. Take care.